Right, Livestream 111. Chill out, lockdown chill out number 8, I think. And I've got some LN2 in the house, so that's nice. And my delivery of LN2 came this morning at 4 a.m. So I have some bottled Coca-Cola and some snakes to keep me awake. Yeah, and let's get going. Basically, there's a few things I would like to check out first before I go on LN2. I do have my pod here, and I have all my equipment ready to go LN2. But it's this stage, so that's a shame that I can't show the ranking. Let's go like this. So OCN is first already with my sub. Here we are. That's the sub. Yeah, so I've got, that's pretty much the setup I have on here right now. So I've got the chiller. I've got a I'll show it live. I've got a Sapphire HD 4890 up top. That's got the higher stock clocks than the generic Gigabyte 4890 in the bottom slot. I do have a dead, like semi-dead Sapphire, so this is what the Sapphire card looks like, fully assembled. But I obviously took off the heatsink, put a universal block on it, and just have the VRM heatsink on there. This one artifacts at stock, so I have that as a MasterCard. 2 crossfire bridges. It's important, guys. It does help the score a little bit in some benches and in some situations. But as my board, I've got the 790X UD 4P. So it's a nice board. The only thing I'll say is it's got proper crossfire spacing. That's nice. But it doesn't have onboard buttons, and it doesn't have onboard diagnostic 7-segment displays. So I was relying on slotting in a PCI card, but as you can see, the bottom card, the bottom GPU blocks the top PCI slot. So there's only one other PCI slot. That there's a few PCIe 1X1s in between here, but in terms of regular PCI, there's only these 2 slots. And the board, I don't know if this is the same for all boards or it's just my copy of it. The board will not post no matter what if I have a debug card down here. And even if I reverse these screws here on the block, I still wouldn't have enough space to put it in the top slot. But as Ground pointed out in the Discord, there is such a thing as a PCI riser. So I have one of these on the way from AliExpress. But yeah, for now, no diagnostic card at all. Also no buttons. I was trying to get my other DDR2 AM2 Plus board that I own is a 790X B M2RS. Yeah, it surprised me too, and believe me, it took an embarrassing amount of time to actually diagnose the problem. Because what happened was I had a totally working rig, like completely working rig. I benched for hours on it, and I just wanted to add one card, and it would get stuck on the C1 code, which is like memory related. And I thought, oh, did I, what happened here? Did I just fuck up my memory settings or something? But it was the debug card. It was reproducible. I could take out the card, do whatever, post, and then like strip the system all the way down, only have one memory slot stick in, and have like my safe benching GPU in there, and put in the card, and then that was enough to stop it from posting. But I'll get the riser card. It's no big deal. I'm not, this is 3D Mark 06 shader model 2 only with no CPU test. So I can pretty much post safe settings, even on LN2, I can just post safe settings like low VCore, low megahertz on the CPU, stock graphics cards, obviously. Just keep posting that, hopefully at full pot. That's the only little variable thing, is if the board starts acting up on temperature, which it hasn't in the past, but it's sort of chip dependent and also RAM dependent, so it's sort of hard to judge, even though, you know, pretty much with very few exceptions, every AM2 Plus board with an AM3 chip in it will do full pot. It's just a question of, will it do all the temperatures along the way as well? Because what I would like to do on LN2 is, you know, obviously do a few ambient runs first, but then do a run at -50 and do a run at -100 and -150 and full pot or whatever. But if I can't do that, if it's only like, if it's only cold bug free at like ambient and full pot, then that's a shame. But I'll just have to work around it because I really don't have any debugging possibilities. Funnily enough, there's these LEDs at the back of this card, on the back of the PCB, and when that flashes, I don't know what the LED really does, like is supposed to indicate. I think it might be like VRM okay or VRM crap or like broken or whatever. But when it flashes, I know it's never going to post. So I don't know if that's going to happen now. Who knows? But yeah, so that's my setup. I've got my Unicorn 6.9 gigahertz Phenom 2 X4 955 Black Edition under there. I'll take it easy on that because in, you know, probably 40 or 50 unlocked AM3 chips that I've tried on cold, this is the best by far. PCIe presence. No, I even just with top slot GPU, it still does that. And hi Shmomo, hi McNulty, yeah, McNulty, sorry. Nice to see you on the stream. I see you're streaming a lot recently. I should watch some of your playback. I'm sure like cool streams. It's always good to see more people streaming because, you know, there's so few streamers, and of those who stream, it's not really very sort of like regular. But yeah, oh, in terms of RAM, I just have, it's a kit of like bad D9 Corsairs, but it does the top strap at C5, and I haven't seen much memory scaling in this bench, but I have seen CPU Northbridge scaling. You've been enjoying it. That's good to hear. What else is there to mention? Yeah, just regular. I mean, the bottom card doesn't really have any good VRM cooling, so I've got an extra fan on there. That's pretty much it. Windows 7. I did try Windows XP in my pre-testing. It wasn't necessarily that it scored worse for this card and board and bench combination. It was just that it was really buggy, so I couldn't really find I wasn't able to cleanly uninstall the drivers the way I wanted to, just by using the uninstaller, and I also couldn't really find a DDU version that worked reliably. So with two cards, it was just a little bit too much effort. Everyone else in the comp is on Windows 7, and I don't think it's gonna impact the score that much, if at all. My sort of theory behind trying XP in the first place was, I know that 06 tends to be a Vista and above bench no matter what generation of card, pretty much. I mean, never say all cards, but like pretty much everything that's modern enough to run 06 is also happy to run outside of XP. But I was thinking that maybe because we're only doing shader model 2, that maybe they might be faster in XP, but it was just a theory anyway, so I'm not going to spend any more time on it. So we have our comp background. Oh, the one thing I will show you is the current state of affairs. So I want to, so I've got the fastest time in the comp, but the comp is new, like it's not over. I didn't see much on ambient. I didn't see much scaling off GPU clocks at all, but CPU clock scaling was crazy. You could see a difference in the score with every 100 CPU megahertz. So I got 4.7. Usually you'd need you probably need SS for that, but this is a 1 in a million chip pretty much. And Encore or CPU Northbridge a little bit of scaling from that. Yeah, the bench doesn't use up the whole 2 gigabytes, so no worries with having to run like a weird configuration like two 2 gigabytes sticks or something like that. Yeah, just top strap, timing is on auto. I just downcored a little bit, but I don't think it necessarily makes much of a difference in terms of clocking the CPU because it is only 3D. So I think idling 3 cores at 4.7 and having one under load at 4.7 versus idling 1 core and having one under load at 4.7. Yeah, it's single threaded. So yeah, that's the score I've got. 9786. Let's start a run. For those who are maybe not so familiar with, I should probably load up my BIOS profile though, just for that sweet CPU Northbridge. Chillers at 18 Celsius. Yeah, so and I just put the heater, it's turned off, but the heater is on the back there, so I don't have to, you know, with multi GPU systems, you really don't want to have to get at the back of the motherboard to like attach a back plate or something like that. So I put the heater and rods in there already, so I can just grab my F1. I already have the temperature monitoring kind of set up. Yeah, just load the profile. This is the F10C for anyone looking to buy. I mean, this is an amazing board. I like the LAN party when I had it running. What was my issue? So the LAN party, it's the way that they versioned the BIOS versions on the LAN party is hard to sort of follow. I need to read into it more, but basically, even though I flashed it with the newest in terms of date BIOS I could find, it still didn't seem to support the 955 correctly, which was a surprise to me. So it locked it at 8 multi. It read the vid wrong, which is really dangerous because it was reading the vid as 1 volt. And since you on this socket generally you apply vCore. I should really show this as my capture card goes away. All right, I won't show it. You generally apply vCore as an offset. You can kind of see it in this view. So if the vid gets read wrong and you apply an offset of like, oh, the vid is 1, so let's apply an offset of 400 millivolts, you end up shoving, 1.7 or 1.8 volts through the chip. Good morning, Forks. Do I want to become famous? No, I don't, actually. I really need to get like a band bot. I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't looked into it. Okay, band, nice. Yeah, so wrong vid, can't apply multiplier. I think it even showed up wrong in the CPU-Z or something. So that's why I've excluded the LAN party. It's kind of a shame. It seems like a cool idea running a LAN party on for like 3D purposes. Am I going to be having capture card issues again? I think once I get into Windows, it's gonna be fine. As long as I do get into Windows after loading this profile. Okay, I'll plier lower. Our media, yeah. I'm sure there's better capture cards out there now than what I have. Okay, so that did apply. Weird. HT60, yeah, that's what I used to use. Okay, I'll just completely leave off. I have EasyTune in Windows anyway, and K10 stat, so I'll leave the CPU. So see, now it's fine. Weird. It must not literally not be posting, which I don't know because I don't have a diagnostic LED display. Yeah, let's just whatever. Yeah, I started off with an Avermeter USB capture card. Then I moved on to the HD60 Pro. Now I have a Blackmagic quad input, which is very good. It's actually, I don't think it's ever like truly dropped out for me. It resolution switches really quickly and stuff, so it's really reliable. It's just in this case, I thought the capture card was having issues, but it was just not posting. As I say that, it's not working. At least I can restart it on the fly. That's not too bad. Okay, so 3D Macro 6. Generally, you run all 6 subtests as they're selected here. So you've got 2 shader model 2 subtests, 2 shader model 3 subtests, and 2 CPU tests. But for this comp, we're doing shader model 2 only. So I'll just apply my overclock. No, I don't want 4.8, I want 4.7. CPU seems to be clocking worse today for some reason. Maybe just a remount on the CPU block. Yeah, the Avermedia USB capture card I had was the worst for display resolution switching. All right, let's do this overclocking business first. I use issues on the LAN party as well. Getting it to load up OSs. It seems for whatever reason it's really picky for what OSs you use, which yeah is weird. Okay, let's use the other tool. Let's use EasyTune. K10 stat seems to be bugged for some reason. So Forks, do you do streams as well? What do you use your capture card for, or do you do YouTube? All right, EasyTune to the rescue. So yeah, I got my LN2 delivered at 4 a.m. this morning, so I'm not the freshest. Pals in. Welcome. How are things over there in Europe? So that applies fine. Okay, we'll leave it at 4.6. I wonder what makes the boot so slow. Is the OS kind of being held back by the 1 gig of RAM, or sorry, 2 gigs of RAM? You don't know. We are Russians. Well, part of Russia is in Europe. It's the only thing about Easy Tune, it's so slow. So yeah, as I was saying about the BIOS, 10C is the last released BIOS for this board, and it supports all the way up to Thuban, so that's pretty good. A lot of the DDR2 boards don't support the Thuban chips. That was going on. Well, it doesn't really matter what I apply. I just want some basis of a comparison. So let's go 4.5 then. Yeah, like the LAN party, I don't think anybody ever hacked a BIOS to support Thuban. I mean, which, you know, why would you want that sort of thing, you know? Realistically. Come on, little boards. I just want to show a run, damn it. So is anyone excited about the new Dune movie coming out? Four or five, here we come. Right, these runs are pretty quick. It's like I think GD2. So GD1 is Proxicon, GD2 is Firefly. Proxicon I think is about a 1 minute, I don't know, 1 minute 15 or something run. And GD2 is about a 1 minute run. I don't get it, guys. Okay, let's do 4G run then. Like, what's even going on? I was doing 4.7 at the same voltage on the same block, on the same pace, at the same temperature. The only thing that's different is the mount, which I suppose is enough. Okay, 4G run coming up. Yeah, so Proxicon and Firefly, which are pretty much There's very similar GTs in 3 Micro 5. So that's why the first test is called Return to ProxyCon. Okay, so what the fuck, guys? I can see it in front of me, but it's obviously not happening here. And 1280 isn't even a possible selection here as a resolution, which is a bit of a problem. Stream first person. Well, okay. That changes things, doesn't it? 06 is certainly a way to really test your capture card, I'll tell you that much. Because it does so many resolution switches. I'll be right back. I'm gonna jerry-rig something here. Yeah, disappointing. Wow, that's really lo-fi. But I remember my last capture card had exactly the same problem, so I'm not... Now that it's happening, it's giving me like flashbacks of this happening the last time I tried to stream 06. I don't know, is that acceptable? It'll have to be like... This is sort of radio territory. Let's do a run. What does it look like? I mean, you can see something, right? This is GT1. It's obviously ProxyCon. There you go, 100 FPS. Man, this sucks. All right. I think the way to remedy this whole situation is just to go LN2. Potentially. Well, this is what GD2 looks like. It's a firefly flying around a forest. Acer should pay me for this advertising. So 7,200. Best score is 9,000. That'll tell you how well it scales off of CPU. Yeah, I'm already using a HDMI splitter. All right, I'm gonna have to rejig a few things here. I don't know, guys. This is a bit of a fuck around, I have to say. That's what I get for being prepared. For the first time in a long time, I actually had the bench OS prepared and had some scores put up, and it's like it's not allowed. It's just not allowed. Four. Let's do a 4-4 run. I don't know what's going on. This is not the capture card. It's fucking up. I'm literally pointing a camera at a screen. All right. The only way of adding a level of excitement here is to just add a bit of LN2, I think. All right. Okay, let's do this. Oh, what do I use to secure the block? That. Yeah, it was purely to just make the switch easy. I didn't want to lift up the whatever, like lift up the entire rig with the 2 GPUs in there or take out the GPUs. Man, 111 live streams in, and this is probably the worst issues I've had. I mean, I've killed chips. I've had the stream just end because my internet was bad or my streaming rig fell apart or whatever. And that's, at least that's got some finality to it, but I just sort of just didn't expect this to happen at all. It's a really good capture card, but it just doesn't do resolutions below 1080p very well. And 3 Micro 6 runs at 1280 times 1024. And I haven't used this in a long time. I use it on LJ 775 for Country Cup 2020, but I usually just use the T-Rex. But I thought I'd use it today for better temp control. Best investment ever. Wing nuts. You can't see that. Wing nuts. Not the included stuff. Wing nuts. They're the way to go. It's these sort of tips that are worth their weight in gold in overclocking. Almost there, guys. Just need a fan. Not that fan. Well, you kind of get to see the view I usually see. There's no point in running an HDMI splitter anymore, so I'm going to bypass that. No, it's not about it being faster. It was so that I could add a pod later. You get me? Like I would just use regular screws. This is how I attach my my block usually. But it was just I didn't want to have to lift the motherboard out ever again today. Okay, so heater is on. I'll try and find a way to show you the temps. Oops, AOF. Like it's just sort of like stick it in there somewhere. Whatever. I'll call out the temps. This is very gonzo today. I apologize. Oh yeah, let's get some LN. This is like a spiritual moment, guys. First LN in like 4 months, 5 months. Let's do it. 40 degrees on the temps. There you go. Now we're cooking. Coke. What kind of Coke? Oh. Alright, I need to be able to see my own screen. Cola. If you say so. Oh, man. $6 positive. Time for some more. Not enough drum and bass, I agree. I'm so glad I could mask up this morning. Meet up with my LN2 guy and get this stuff. CPU temperature is showing -15, that's nice. Let's give it a little bit of a glaze. All my fan headers are hidden, so I'm gonna have to get an adapter. All right. It's as we used to say in Germany, it's been a troubled birth. Yeah, it should be all good. Let's just give it a boot. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready to break the 10,000 at least. Let's keep running GT2s, I think. I think that's the way to do things. Let's it's minus 25 now, so let's do minus 50. I'm calling it minus 50, 1.6 V core, 5G. What do you think, guys? Oh, this just when I thought I was getting lucky, this this thermos is fucked as well. Yay, just something to add to the list. White Jack, you're just joining. My capture card gave up the ghost, so I'm improvising a little bit. All right, minus 40. Let's do 1.625. No, okay, let's stick to our promises. 1.6 and 5G. There we go. 5G, 1.6, minus 50. I called it, now it just needs to run. Give me a run, please. Give me a run. Oh, loading screens. Okay, minus 150, or sorry, 150 FPS. Yeah, okay. It's scaling, it's still scaling. Let's go. Yeah, this thermos is fucked, eh? I mean, you can't see the text, right, guys, because it's too small, but the actual fidelity of the bench itself is quite good as far as I can see on my OBS. It's kind of funny to think about. That machine gun. That machine gun is epic. Mac 2006. It is an amazing benchmark. This is actually a remake of the 3 Mac 05 bench. these first two graphics tests. This test right here is also in PC Mark 7. You might know it from there. Yeah, gotta throw out this thermos, empty it as quickly as possible. I was going to touch the heater, but I think that's kind of a dumb risk to take. Let's just dump this into the pot. $10,458. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Sorry guys, most of your screen is probably just a lamp. Don't tell me again. Where's my capture utility? Don't forget GPU Z. 10,458. Next is going to be a minus 100. 5.5 at 1.7. All right, we can apply our vCore. It's applied. 5.5 times 200. It's 27.5, right? Or am I completely dumb? What's 27.5 times 2? Yeah. Here we go, 5.5 gigahertz. Do we get a loading screen? We get a loading screen. 160, 170. Okay, we're still scaling, guys. I'll just grab a new thermos and fill it. Yeah, so Yeah, it's $1,500. So there would be like a professional version of many of these benchmarks, which is for like reviewers and stuff. PC Mark 10 Express is what we run competitively on Hardware Bot, and that's, I don't know, $20 or even less. 3D Mark 001, 03, 05, 06, and 3D Mark 11 and Vantage are so old now they're unsupported by 3D Mark, which that's what the company used to be called, but now it's just called UL for whatever reason. But the benchmarks you still have to pay a few bucks for on Steam are Time Spy and Port Royal and that kind of stuff. So there's a long history of benchmarks. PC Mark 2004, 2005, PC Mark Vantage, PC Mark 7. They're all legacy benchmarks. You can get them for free. You can get a serial number to unlock them for free and stuff. But 10 and above, I don't know if there's an 11, but 10 is still a paid PC Mark. So end frames are really inaccurate here, but basically the display at the bottom, which you probably can't see, is so 11037. I should pour more. Gotta remember the details page. Okay. 11:0 something, so it was having trouble opening GPU Z. At this point, I'm gonna have to go down full pot and do maybe a GT2 run to see if it's still, like, the PCI Express bus is still working. I mean, it rebooted cleanly, but something happened there. I say it rebooted cleanly, but why is it stuck on the welcome screen? Just took a little bit longer because of the unclean shutdown. Let's straight away open up a GPU Z. Okay, that seems reasonable. Let's go full pot. Hey, hey, sexy. You missed my capture card breaking or just refusing to run a particular resolution. So I'll just do, at full pot, I'll do like 5.8 at 1.75 or something. Let's do a really big calculator here so you can see it on the screen, on the stream. Here we go. 5,800 divided by 200. 29 multi. Okay, that applied. Drink, lots of it. This is what's my drink. Yeah, capture card issues. It doesn't support 1280 by 1024 for some reason. I need to get on that. I need to get a new capture card. I want a fourth camera anyways because I have a quad input capture card and I'm just using one of the inputs for display. But I should really get a capture card that's like gaming focused that really doesn't give me any issues because my capture card is 4K for all the cameras and stuff. I mean, that's overkill, but this is a long story there. But I should free up that one input, allow me to run a fourth camera and get like a second PCI Express capture card that specifically is good at this sort of thing, because 06 is notorious for display resolution switching. I think it does 1280 by 1024 for the GTs, but then like 1024 by 768 for the CPU tests or something. Yeah, so if you don't adjust your desktop resolution, if you have, let's say, like full HD for desktop resolution, then an 06 run will go 1080p down to 1280 by 1024, then down to 1024 times 768. Then the last two GTs are 1280 by 1024 again, and then once you leave the last two Gs, you'd go back to full HD. So it is kind of like a stress test on capture cards, to be fair. That's full pot. Okay, yeah, we're just doing a 5.8 like little sanity check. GC 50, okay, whatever that is, I'll note it down and I'll have a look after the stream. So we hit 180. I think we're sort of reaching the end of scaling with the CPU. I mean, I'll max out the CPU anyway, but I'm not seeing massively higher frame rates now anymore. I'll just get more LN2. If we don't get the GPU Z open weirdness of the last run, then this is full pod 5.8 at 1.7 or 7.5. I think I'll do full pod 1.8, 6.2 or something. Wow, almost 10,000 frames. That is quite good. Does anyone have any standing desk recommendations. So obviously my standing desk would have to be able to hold, you know, a torch, 3 screens, a light, a lamp, and a bench rig, and a laptop, and a few bits and bobs. This is actually an IKEA standing desk that supposedly is rated for, I don't know, 30 kilos or something, and it gave up the ghost. So I need something more rugged than that. I have back issues, so I want to be able to bench standing up, because I find myself sort of like bending down a lot to pour and to mess around with the rig, and it's really not, it's not helping my back issues. Okay, 11463. So that's 5.8 gigahertz. Ooh, we want to, so right now it's 93 FPS and 97.9 FPS. We want to break 100 in both, let's say. That would be interesting. Before I do all this, I need to check that I can really open GPU set. No. Should reboot cleanly, but how can we quickly replicate that? It wouldn't be enough to run a GT2 at start or at the setting, at the 4G setting, and okay, what I'll try is open GPU-Z, keep it running in the background, run a GT2 quickly, try to foreground the GPU-Z. If that works, do a full run at 6.2 at 1.8 volts, full pot, and then see if we have the same issue with the GPU-Z in the background. Because I open a GPU-Z just straight away after Windows boot full pot earlier, so it's not a temp thing. It's a seems to be a sequencing thing where it doesn't like to be opened after the run, which is fine because I can put it in the background. But if I prefer to have it background, but if that's not possible, I can even keep it maximized and see if that helps. Let's just do a quick GT2. So the update on the snack situation is I only have a few snakes left, so I don't want those. I'm going to have a bit of savory now, which is Aussie original beef. What's it called again? Biltong. So there we go. Where's UFO man? He's right here. I can put him on the top, where he's more visible. There you go. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh. So that worked. So now we do a full run. Maybe I just got a bad piece, but this is genuinely disgusting. I don't know why I'm having another piece. So 6.2 for those going along. So 31 multi. I'm actually running out of multis. I should. Should boot a higher BCLK, but okay. 6.2. GPU Z in the background. Let's give it a run. Reboot. That might just be the high multi though. Let's boot a higher BCLK. .3G surely is possible. CPU NB. How do you make biltong? I have no idea. It's growing on me. So 6.2 divided by 215 BCLK. Let's try it 28.5. I think that's healthy. Well, I'm glad so many of you could join me today. Thanks for hanging out and persisting through the technical issues. So it's 28.5. So we're a little bit above 6.1 gigahertz. We've backgrounded our GPU Z. Let's see if we can get a run out. Okay, loading screen loads. So I'm seeing highs of 187. I think the highs sort of flatten out, but we still get a better average somehow. It'd be interesting to know like the actual science of this benchmark basically. So with that extra BCLK, we got a little bit better memory as well, a little bit better CPU North Bridge. Interesting hang. I'm guessing it's rebooting. Yeah, okay. Let's give it a little bit more VCore. 1.85. So we back around with GPU Z again. Okay. Yeah, the droop on this board and stuff might be quite bad, so I would imagine this chip would usually do these settings, but let's not take anything for granted and just give it a little bit more vCore and see what happens. I can also check if the VRM is getting a bit too hot or something, but it's only running 2 cores in a single threaded workload, so well, the VRM heatsink is looking quite quite okay. So worse. Maybe our memory or CPU North Bridge is too high. Let's do a stock run. I sort of doubt it, but let's just exclude that, and afterwards, I don't know. How's everyone else doing? How are you? What are your benching plans, if any? Sock force, nice. You dropped it on the socket. Okay, so you bent some pins. That's a shame. First, take Skydiver 970 Glod. MX5. Yeah, a lot of people are like ranting and raving about MX5 these days, but I don't think it's available for me locally. You think you got away with it? That's good. I yeah, the very first cold session I had was dice on a Z97 LN2 with a G3258. If I remember right. You haven't found the damage yet. Model 680 is interesting. We actually have a lot of 680 Lightnings locally here in Australia. So I have like 4 or 5 680 Lightnings. So I'll never be modding a 680, but your availability situation might be different. Okay, that's a pass. GPU Z reopen is fine. Let's anyway, let's push the CPU North Bridge a little bit more. So save. .1 at 1.4 volts is a bit adventurous, but let's give it a go. All right. At least the overclocking failure system thingy works. .45. Let's keep going up. This is DDR2 though, so oh, okay. .680s in servers. What kind of server is this? A Minecraft server? I guess if these servers were coupled together with whatever people could find, then it makes sense. But 680 has quite a high TDP for something that's just going to be used for display out, I'm assuming. All right, let's do some benching. Oh. It's somehow like rolled over the beat, the encore. It sometimes happens on Gigabyte, where it sort of does an overclocking fail without telling you about it. I don't really. Look, I can still raise in OS, so I suppose that's acceptable. Let's do that. scary looking little error prompt there. Dell R720. Sounds interesting. All right, so let's do 5.8 again. So 27 multi. So 5.8 at, what was it again? 5.8 at, damn, where's all my results? I think it was 5.8 at 1.75, wasn't it? And 27 multi. Yeah, let's do 5.8 at 1.75 with the higher encore. Getting quite high on the RAM, but I think it should be all right. And we've got our minimized DPZ. $184 peak seems slow, but let's give it a chance. I grab more LN2. It's running. I'm just not convinced if it's gonna like spit out a good score. And I really sort of didn't realize how many scores I lost due to the GPU Z bug. I had like an 11.46, but my highest saved score is like a 10.46. That's quite the gap. So when this is a GPU bench, well, no, I was about to say that when you pass GT1, you're likely to pass GT2, but I do remember my fair share of Firefly fails. So that's 10,000 frames. That sounds about right. Let's go to our little calculator thing here. $10,000 frames is 100 FPS. So yeah, okay. I'll die a happy man if I get 100 FPS in both tests by the end of this session. Probably not on this run, but by the end of the session would be good. Dell R720. I'm curious. So is it like a workstation type thing? A Power Edge? What the hell? A rack mounted server with GTX 680s in it. I'm genuinely impressed. I mean, doesn't seem normal, but I'm impressed by the novelty of it. So let's watch for the end frame. 6,000, 6,190 or so. 6,190. That's it's bugged. Okay, 11,927. 11,927. So massive CPU Northbridge scaling at 1.75 at 3.9 NB. Okay. Please GPZ come back without fucking my system. I'll take a copy because I'm suspicious that the system might be corrupting stuff. So I'll take a copy. Now, this is where things become interesting. What I'm tempted to do is just get a little bit more CPU Northbridge out of it. But it's a dangerous game because our RAM is quite high for this generic kit. Okay, our file is all good. That's good. We have a good score. 220. 5.9. So this is 6 at 1.75 at 220 BCLK. Okay, so that's like a sustain. This is 190. So basically 3D benching for dummies is a lot of benches, not all, but a lot of benches tend to have a high frame at the beginning. So an easy start, an easy to render start. Now there might be a high frame later, but the point is at the very beginning of the bench, you can see if it's going to be a good run or not. I mean, this is a gross generalization, but Cadzilla, for example, is really good for it. Basically, the first FPS number Cadzilla throws out at you will like 100% tell you, not 100% because you can have throttling mid-run and stuff, but in a system that has static clocks applied, it's really not happening, is it? In a system that has static clocks applied or like predictable clocks applied, and that's not throttling, Cadzilla's first frame tells you all you need to know about everything, basically. Okay, let's try higher CPU NB again. Okay, so that got one multiplier out of it. That's good. Since I want to hit the 12,000 and I'm only 73 points away from it. I'm actually going to rerun just with that extra bit of CPU Northbridge. I think that's worth doing just to see how we go. I need to do the rerun anyway because I forgot the details part of the screenshot. Okay. Guys, this is a worrying trend of just fucking up screenshots left and right. I need a valid screenshot before my system like breaks down or whatever. So 1.75 at the 27 multi. And the only reason I realized I didn't have the details page open is because I was trying to check if both subtests hit 100. And then I was like, where's the FPS? Oh, I don't have a details page. Good that I copied that screenshot off, or else I would have never been the wiser. To you rack server, they came with dual 4-core 4-thread IV. So 4-core 4-thread is like a 3570K, or non-K, I guess, since it's a server part. I mean, not literally, but like a Xeon equivalent of that. Were used for rendering boxes. You can probably get an iGPU that's faster than that now. So we want to hit more than 10K. I'm enjoying this. This is fun, guys. Thanks for indulging this crazy hobby with me. Airmaster Games, thanks for the follow. So White Shark, you were talking about 970 Skydiver without LOD. Is the score you're trying to beat previous to the rules change that disallowed LOD? Is that what you're saying? Is that you have to like outclock the previous score? So 97, 98, 99, 1060 or so. Okay, let's note that down. That's 10 points. That's 100.6 average. And can you like compensate for that by maybe getting better FPS, like better efficiency out of a newer driver or something? Or do you literally just have to outclock the guy? I mean, Skydiver has what core count CPU are you up against? Because Skydiver CPU test wants quite a bit faster on Ryzen 5000 than previous stuff, if I remember right. Ah, okay. No cold bug. Oof. But at least you can gain on the physics test, right? So 5.7, 5.8, 5.9, 6.130 or so. This seems slower. But we need to save it. 11.875. So that's within variance. Okay. So we just had a random reboot again. It's just gonna be like that, isn't it? I'm trying high HT frequency. Oh. $79.80 XC. Okay, that's stiff competition. Okay, that's no go. Let's go down one. I could raise HT volts though. Ooh, that's okay. Let's go 2.4, see what happens. It's just slightly higher than before. LN2. Stiff competition, man. I'm starting to get a little, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because I'm running towards the end of my 10 liter and don't really have a score. So let's avoid, even though we're not on the capture card anymore, let's avoid the display resolution switching by setting desktop to bench res, and then maybe that means the weird stuff doesn't happen. Okay, so GPU set in the background, apply clocks, bench res, minimize, check Northbridge, all fine, memory fine, HT is fine. Apply clocks and away we go. What was it again? 27 or something? 27. Okay. The only thing then is we might have to really pack the screenshot because I don't really want to give up the advantage of no res switching by then res switching for the screenshot. All right, this is the run, guys. This is the run. A nice little high 11K, maybe even 12K run and a valid screenshot. And then we can sort of relax a little bit. Now, the fucked up thing is I'm still running asynchronous clocks. So the primary card has 870 core stock and 1050. Okay. All right, let's just do a rerun. Okay. But do you have clock advantages on the other guy at least in Skydiver? On the GPU, I mean. So this should be an exact rerun of the one that failed after the run completed, except for the desktop res part. Make sure we don't forget our GPU Z. Okay, more than 2. I don't know, I'm starting to sort of like spitball a bit here. And I don't like it. But I think HT under 2G might be the way to go. Yeah, I think that was a bit adventurous, and I don't know if the scaling really exists to warrant that kind of pushing of HD. Yeah. I sort of feel like squeezing every last drop of CPU Northbridge out of this system though. The way it's been scaling. $183, $184, $185. Still not sure about this this bench on these cards, because obviously sort of like the memory profile, like the memory timings, amount of memory, that architecture, that kind of like influences where the high points come in the run somehow as well, to a degree. Let's go for a bit of fresh air. I can chiller down the cards a bit more. Come on, let's just get a run out, guys. I'll take, at this point, I'll take anything with an 11 at the front. Haven't seen a GT2 fail yet. We've seen a GT1 fail. We've seen a fail on load, and we've seen a fail post run, but no GT2 fails. Show me 10,000 at least. $10.90. Okay, that seems fast. Seems like a fast run. Almost 101 FPS. I should. What about sandbagging this run? That would be so trolly because everyone always complains about sandbagging. I should have a 2.5 hour stream or 2.5 hour plus stream by the end time we're done online on YouTube and Twitch with all of the scores, and then just sandbag it. And then if anyone complains about, and then sub it in the last 5 minutes, and if anyone complains about sandbagging, I'd be like, it was on YouTube 2 months ago or whatever, or 2 weeks ago. Okay, let's watch the end frame here. 5.5, 5.6, 5.7, 5.8, 5.9, 6, 6.1, 6.190 or so. Okay. $11,947. Okay, our pot is doing well. Just need details. Ooh, below 100. 98 in GT1. 101 in GT2. Shit, we're gonna run out of space. Motherfuckers. I hate it. Okay, now we can get a valid screenshot here for sure. And that's valid. 11,947. Okay, let's balls to the wall this. We have our safety score. Let's do 1 point. Hi, Doug Gregor. Capture card issues today, so slightly weird setup. Apply. That was slow. 6G would be a full multi more, so it's 28. I mean, it's up there. Okay, let's watch our frames. 184, 188, 190. Okay. OC Lab. Yeah, I mean, there should be a happy medium. Yeah, it's sort of like, because 3D, I mean, what I'd like to have is like a really clear vision of the frames at the bottom, the current FPS, the time elapsed, and the total frames in the GT. But it's right, it's true that when it comes to an LN2 stream, like the rig is more exciting than a in for an ambient run. So I understand what you mean. You know, you can see the whatever, you can see the thermoses and stuff, and you can see me zorching up or whatever. So earlier when I went above 1.75, it felt like I was seeing instability, but maybe the display resolution change fixed things. I also sort of feel like the hyper transport going down in hyper transport really helped. Let's see 11K, 11. Oh, 10.35. It's still scaling like crazy. 10.350. Yeah, that's very good. Let's hope we see 100 FPS in both benches. Like, I still sort of feel like the head cam is a bit too big. Like, I think if it really came down to it, I could have 3 cams along the side. I don't know. I do feel a bit. So my problem with the streaming is always I use this desk for working from home in lockdown. So right now it really is a pain to like clear stuff off and set everything up again. I wish there was some sort of automated way to just. I know. I mean, I switch around cameras and stuff, but I'd love to have an automated way of returning all the cameras and all the focus on all the cameras to the same position as I used last time. 12, 2, 3, 2. That answers the question whether we're still seeing scaling. 12, 2, 3, 2. I'm going to be greedy and try resolution switch. It may not work. Okay. We want our detailed view. We want this. We want this. So we're at 100 and 103.5. Rehide. Reswitch. Let's go K10 scat, like K10 scat. K10 stat. No, that didn't work earlier. Let's not introduce a reboot for no reason. I mean, it should be able to do like 6.5. Let's do one multi at a time. Close enough. Close enough, guys. So we're at 6.45 now. Let's give it a go, eh? No run. No run. Okay. I thought I'd worked something out, but I probably haven't. Um, 6.2. 6.2, and if 6.2 doesn't go, then 6.2 at 1.9. I won't go above 1.9 vCore. Then I'll do a little bit more on the CPU North Bridge. I mean, there's no LODs, there's no GPU overclock, but in my testing, I didn't feel like those things did very much. There's no D3 overrider, there's no priority and affinity. Okay. Okay, trying 6.2. So one multi-lower. No. Let's try a little bit higher CPU North Bridge. I really thought that the scaling there was quite good. And then we'll go 1.9 vCore, and then it's, I mean, this is what they call in the business diminishing returns. That's the highest on core I can actually give. Let's try it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, okay. I think we might be down to our last little bit of LN2 from the 10 liter. So that's the rig, and that's for that comp. It's the AMD GPU DDR2 stage. Let's make sure we really have our 4.3 gigahertz CPU North Bridge. We do. Yeah, now we just got to background our GPU Z, and away we go. I think it was 28, wasn't it? Yeah, let's give that a nice little run. Make sure we're still scaling with CPU North Bridge. Because if we are, I mean, one consideration would be just increasing BCLK. So we've got a 192 start frame here, not 194. That seems very fast. I mean, I don't know if I was really paying full attention to the last 6G run that completed and ended up in a 12, whatever it was, a 12232, but And you have to be careful too, because sometimes the two GTs balance each other out. So like run to run variance makes GT1 run faster, but the GT2 will be slower. But yeah, this is certainly worth completing the run. You gonna bench Team Cup, Dark Rigger? While we're waiting for the end of the GT1. Interesting. I hope I haven't degraded this chip or something. No. Okay, that's fair enough. Team Cup isn't for everyone. So noted down as an end frame for the last GT1, I have a 1,350. So sorry, 10,000, 10, 10, 2, 10, 3. Yeah, it's about a 10, 380 or so. So, you know, an extra couple of fractions of a frame per second. That's okay. This has been fun, guys. I might bench 3D more often just with a screen cam like this. So that's French Legion. Only 2 active members. That's kind of sad. Is Newell still benching? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry. 12291. Okay, that's only a slight improvement. I won't bother going to the other resolution. I'll just grab a quick one. Uh, 12291. Okay, 60 points. I mean, 60 points is 60 points. Uh, 6.2 was a no-go, wasn't it? Let's try 6.2 at 1.9. Captain's quit. Can you say who it is? No worries if you can't. I'm just curious. That's sad. So quit benching or quit the team? So 6.2 at 1.9. Going for broke here, guys. Okay. Why does it seem like it new? No. That's a shame. So next week I might do the AM3 Plus stuff. So the pi prime, I guess. Sorry, no, it's UL benchmarks CPU test. On LN2. I don't know, maybe I'll do 32M AM2 Plus, but that's the same board and stuff. I don't really want to be repeating myself too much. So it's at 9,000 frames already out here. Seems fast. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 5. So still scaling. Still scaling. So today is the premiere of that show with Gillian Anderson, Sex Education, on Netflix, season 3. Gonna watch this straight after the stream. I think it's a good show. It's about teenagers. I mean, I guess it's called Sex Education because she's a sex therapist. But that's really not the main gist of the show. So we've got a 12-4-3-4. Top show, yeah. It is, it's good. And Gillian Anderson is like one of my heroes from X-Files. What was it? 12-4-3-4. Oops. Let's eject our drive and make a safety copy of this 6.2 gigahertz RAM. Eject. Screen resolution switch. Okay, 6.4 gigahertz. Yeah. Okay, let's do one run at 1.95 vCore. If we can get a boot out. I'll take no chances and get a rig pick right now as well. All right. That's some sort of freeze. Okay, I think the rig is telling me something. We finished off this bad boy here. Yeah, I think I'm done. 2 hours 40 minutes. K-Mite X-File t-shirt. Yeah, it'll definitely be, I'll still have LN2 for sure next week. I'll definitely stream next week because I'll still be in lockdown next week. Team Cup will still be on. It's running until the end of the month. It'll either be AM3 Plus or on LN2 for that CPU profile max stuff, or AM2 Plus 32M, that kind of thing. Thanks for watching, and like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, thanks for bearing with me through the tech issues, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Thanks for watching.